All right, it looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trainer Comic Fandom for Life. I'm your host, Joe Vitson. I am an aspiring comic book writer, a digital inker, and almost 40-year fan of what we know as comics. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I actually got a nice big haul of comics over the past month or so, and I figured I'd do a stream and talk about some of the books I got, and we'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody comes in to watch the stream. But if not, then we'll just keep going and they can watch it when it's uploaded to YouTube. I also have to say, if anyone's here, then please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I put up new videos. Unfortunately, I haven't been really streaming a lot lately just because of health issues, but things are getting better, so I figured I'd do a quick stream. Hopefully you can't hear my fan too badly or the squeak of my chair. My chair makes a lot of noise. I'm sorry. I feel bad for it. It has to hold my fat butt, but it served me well, at least for the past couple of years, so I keep it around. It's like a cherished friend. Um, I don't think anybody's really coming in, so they'll have to watch it on the replay. But let me share my camera, and you get to see my lovely face. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And we're going to talk about some comic books. All right. So the first comic book I want to show you is by your boy Zach, Richard Meyer, along with Renzo Rodriguez, with colors by Michael G. And I'm talking about Pandemic. And I hope you can see that okay. Beautiful cover by Jason Johnson, one of my all-time favorites. If you've ever watched any of my videos, I've mentioned Jason before. Really love his work. Awesome colors by Kelsey Shannon on the cover. This is a really interesting book. I'll show you a little glimpse of the art. I don't want to give too much of the art away. Not too many spoilers or whatever. I want you to see Renzo's artwork is very beautiful. There's a reason why this book is called Pandemic, because that's exactly what's kind of addressed a little bit in a fictional style by Richard C. Meyer. We've been going through a lot of things since March, and this is kind of like Richard's kind of little fictional take on some of the stuff that's happened. It's not political. No particular sides blamed for anything. It's just kind of like, what would happen if you found out that maybe this pandemic was orchestrated by the top 1%, and they know that you found out, and now they're coming to get you. And I think this is a wonderful book. I really enjoyed reading it. I've seen some people post about like, oh, it's a floppy comic book. It's $10. That's way too expensive. And you have to understand, it's like when you're putting out 50,000 issues, onto in the local comic book stores or wherever they may go, Walmart, and you have like 28 different variant covers. You can keep your price point low, but when you're really dealing with maybe 2,000 to 3,000 backers, because this was funded through Indiegogo, your price point's not that low. You have to make money. You want to give your customers something that they enjoy for their money, but you have to make money so that you can keep on putting out product. And I have to say, I commend your boy Zach for experimenting with this book, because I think it's really good. And it shows people that, there are people who will back floppy books as long as it's good, and when you have Richard writing the story, you have Renzo doing the art, you got Michael G doing the color, it's just a phenomenal, it's going to be a good book, and then slap on, like I said, one of my favorite artists, Jason Johnson, along with Kelsey Shannon coloring. I think it's top notch. I understand if you can't spend $10, then don't spend $10. But if you do, this book's worth it. Okay. Now, to go along with this book, I also have the Ballot of No, also by your boy, with interior artwork by Kelsey Shannon. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying his name. Black and white. Look how gorgeous Kelsey's artwork is. It's consistent all the way through the book. This one is a little bit different. It's still dealing with things going on in the pandemics. Like we know that there's been a lot of rioting. And what happens if you had a psychotic patient who escapes from the mental facility that they're at, and they're released in, they find themselves out in the riot, and all you can say, all that this person says is no. So if you tell them, okay, you got to go back to the hospital, no, you won't do it. But if you say, I don't want you to go back to the hospital, he'll say no, but then he'll do it. See, so it's kind of a bizarro effect. And like I said, once again, it's a floppy comic. I'll show some more of a little bit more of the artwork. If you know Kelsey Shannon, you know he's a great artist. I don't know if, I think there's supposed to be a follow-up book called a Theosophy. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And apparently, I think if I understand your boy Zach's last video, it's going to be with Kelsey Shannon again, but this time they're going to do like a 48-page book. Just because, like I said, I think that your boy got a little bit of heat from some of his critics, I guess, because this was a floppy book. To me, it was worth $10. It came with 2 posters, which I have over there. I can't get to right now, but definitely worth the $10. Now, I don't know if Pandemic or the Ballot of No is still available on Indiegogo. I know there was talk that Richard was going to shut down a few of the campaigns and focused on The Expendables Go to Hell, as well as Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar. So I don't know if these books are still available, but if they are, check them out on Indiegogo. If the Ballot of No is still active, I believe you could get both books at that campaign if it's still running. Okay, another book I got is from Mike S. Miller. He did all the artwork, the writing and the artwork, and with colors by J. Nanjon Jambari. This one came with stickers and a couple of cards. If you can see without the glare, try to get it without the glare. So that was really nice. And it's also autographed by Mike. Not a big fan of putting autographs right across the middle of the cover, but I appreciate that he signed it. This is definitely a really great book. I'll show you a nice big splash from the book. Hopefully everyone can see it okay. I know I got to get a professional setup one of these days. I'm waiting to actually move my setup from my bedroom into an actual spare bedroom once my daughter moves out. So I can actually look at getting like a camera, and then a real microphone would be nice. But that'll take time. So Lone Star, what's it about? Well, think about Captain America-esque hero leading a squad of unknown soldiers. These individuals were all part of I believe, a government experiment, kind of like the super soldier formula with Captain America. And they go and they fight vampires. And that sold me. I said, man, Captain America, vampire. So it's kind of Captain America-esque. I don't want to say it's exactly like Captain America. And has a little bit of like maybe Blade, the vampire hunter, if you're a fan of Blade. And I think it's great. I think this is the way I want Captain America. I would want Captain America to be written. You know, definitely has his ideals, has his principles. He's out there protecting innocents. Things do affect his life. He's not perfect 100% of the time. He's fallible. You know, there's losses. You know, some heroes die. I'm not going to give too much away, whether it's in this book or another book. But, you know, people die. There's repercussions to that. I think it was very well written. I love the artwork. And like I said, if they would only put as much effort as Mike did in Lone Star Heart of the Heroes into Captain America. I think Captain America would be a huge, huge book. I don't know how it sells now. I don't even know if there's a Captain America book anymore. Things come and go so quickly. So let me put this one away. But this is cool just for the sake of vampires. So if you love vampires, what a great book to get. I got the follow-up book, which is Lone Star, Soul of the Soldier. Same creative team. Let me see if I can find a really good splash page to show everybody. How about that? Back in, I'm not sure if this was World War I or II. The Germans had a super soldier. And then, boom, there's Lone Star, our super soldier, going against them. They're very good. And then in this book, like the main villain becomes a vampire called Svarog. He's from Russia, so pardon the way I pronounce the name. And he starts setting a plan in motion. Lone Star and the Unknown Soldiers are there to try to stop them. They don't. He gets away. His plan's going to go into place. Another big dramatic point in Lone Star's history here. And this one's also signed. I didn't notice this is also signed by Mike, except he did it up there with the cracks, which I like because I didn't even notice he signed it. So that's awesome. I think, yeah. So that's cool. Really good book. Like I said, if you're a kind of a Captain America fan, Blade fan, you know, you believe in truth, justice, and the American way, then Lone Star is the way to go. Like I said, for me, what sold me was the vampires. I got on board. I love the book. I believe Mike is starting on volume 3. You can still get the Lone Star books, I believe. Mike has a Indiegogo campaign right now called Magnificent 7. And that's where I got these. I wasn't into the Magnificent 7 book. But I wanted to look at to get a look at Lone Star volume 1 and 2, and I was able to get them through that campaign. So they're still, I believe they're still available out there. Let me get a drink, guys. And gals and everyone. Next book, I'm not sure who published this. Vault published this. I saw this book on your boy Zach's channel. He talked about it, and I had to check it out because, once again, vampires. I love vampires. The only thing I love more than vampires is werewolves. And just to let you know, right now I'm working on a werewolf comic book. It's probably going to be anywhere from 48 to 60 pages once I'm done writing it. Don't know when I'll get to move forward with funding to get a writer. I mean, to get an artist to work on the book. But that may be coming up next year. So this one is called These Savage Shores. And I got the trade paperback. I got all these on Comixology. And I loved it so much, I said I had to have a physical copy. And let me see if there's any, like a really good splash page to show you. And this was really interesting because it takes place in, I want to say, India, because they keep on mentioning Calcut. So it's kind of like the Indian version of a vampire. The artwork is phenomenal. The creative team behind this book is Damien A. Wassel. Yeah, let me put on my glasses. Hold on one second, guys. I was going to try to do this without my glasses, and then I'm just like, oh, well, you know, people have to write things small. So, okay, so Wassel's the publisher. Where did they mention the creative team? Here we go. Written by Ram V. Illustrated by Sumit Kumar. Colored by Vittorio Astone. And lettered by Aditya Bidikar. So, what I liked about this was it was a great mixture of Indian, I guess, you know, folklore when it comes to vampires, as well as we also see the European vampires in this as well. And I thought that was very unique. It was a great take to a vampire story can be kind of like, oh, been there, done that. But this one was I thought really good because it takes you into another culture to show you, like, okay, here's what we think about vampires, and this is what are vampires to us, and here's the European. We know that's what so they're going to do battle, and it's just an amazing book. Like, look at that. Here's the main um, Indian vampire going against the European vampire, who's the villain in the book. So that's just beautiful. So these Savage Shores, I mean, it's $17 to get it. This is, I think, 6 or 7 issues. So there's, it's quite thick, a lot of pages, a lot of beautiful art, great writing. This was nice. This was really nice to get because, like I said, I'm a horror buff, of course, so vampires and things like that fall into that genre. And to see a different culture's take of it is really awesome. So really good book. Definitely recommend you to pick up this book. It's great. It's even probably historically accurate to some extent. So learn a little bit of the history of India. Now this next book kind of blew me away. I really love this book, but I got a patch. I got, I don't know how many bookmarkers. And if you look at the back, they spell Titan. I believe that's a sticker. Titan. A couple of cards, which is always nice. I guess these are little mini prints that were signed by the writer and artist of the book, Gary Shipman. These are beautiful. I really love these. I like getting these little extra things. It's just a nice touch. I think it shows that the creator cares enough about their character, their creation, that they want to go above and beyond and make a lot of extras. So the book is the deluxe edition of Titan, Mouse of Might by Gary Shipman. Gary was nice enough to sign my copy. I think he's signing all the copies. I don't want to make myself feel special when everyone else is getting it, but it makes me feel a little bit special. I pretend that I'm the only one that he signed for. This book has some amazing black and white artwork, and I know, like, a lot of people, they love colored comics. I do too, but then again, when you have an artist like Gary here, it's like, I think seeing his artwork in black and white is just amazing. No distractions from color. You just see the raw energy and impact of the art. And this story is just amazing. I mean, I actually read it a couple of times because when I first read over it, I was like, okay, it's good. It's real good. Read over it again. I was like, oh, dude, no, wait, let me read it one more time. I'm like, oh, I'm getting this now. I'm getting all the layers to this story. And, a lot of people will say, oh, it's like Mighty Mouse, or it's like, oh, it's a mouse that's like Batman. Yes and no. I mean, these are original characters. He kind of reminds me a little bit like, oh, if Batman was a mouse, he'd be Titan. But the story is just it just makes it its own really unique character. Titan is a phenomenal character. I paid $50 for this. It comes with the story as well. It comes with a lot of behind the scene pictures, so you can see the process that Gary goes through when he's creating his pages. There's also a fan art gallery in the back. Let me see if I can get there. Fan art section. Here we go. Fan art. So I got some fan art there. People turned in and Gary published in the book. So that's very cool for those people. I just love it, man. This is great. This is a really awesome book. My only complaint would be is that I wanted more story. It's great to have the behind the scenes stuff and the fan art gallery. That's amazing. But when I'm dropping $50 for a book, I want it to be the most story that you can give me. And not that he didn't give me a lot of story in the pages that are the comic. It's just it was so good. I wanted more. Gary right now is he has the Titan 2 campaign so volume 2. You can still get Titan Mouse of Might though. You can get it in a regular format, not deluxe, like a regular edition. And then you can also get it in 3 floppy form, like a form of 3 floppies. I would say if the best bang for your buck is probably going the deluxe edition. That's just my opinion. I'm not sure how much the standard edition is. Might be $25 or $30. This, like I said, was $50, but it definitely well worth it. The content that you're given is amazing. Like I said, you get basically 3 issues of story. It's incredible. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling to the story. You can tell that Gary put a lot of himself into the work. Not saying that he's represented in there as a character or anything, but he put his heart and his soul and his imagination into this, and I think it pays off. This is an awesome book. Highly, highly recommend you go get Titan Mouse of Might, whether you get it in the floppy form, whether you get it in the standard edition form, or you go and you support an independent creator by doing the deluxe edition. Phenomenal book. Can't say enough about it. Okay, I'm seeing a trend here. Vampires. Now, this is the comic book adaptation of Francis Ford Coppola's movie, Dracula. It's done by, should know these names before I do this, but it's Roy Thomas does script, Mike Mignola does pencils, inks is John Nyberg, and letter is John Costanza. Now, what I like about this is I have the original 4 floppies. I think it's 4 floppies of this, and they're colored and they're beautiful, and I love the story. The story is very true to the movie. There's a little bit of difference. I think maybe they based this off of like maybe an early draft before it got actually finalized and put into the film, or they might have changed while filming. But what I like about this book the most is that it's black and white. The floppies are colored. This is black and white. And I believe that this is the way that Mike Mignola should always portray his artwork. He is such a master of light and shadow. And he actually does really good likenesses. I think he gets pretty good with the likenesses here on the characters from the movie. So that's really good. And I think this is IDW does this. I think it's still available. I just bought it recently. Let's see here. It's $30 in the US, and in Canada it's $40. But it's definitely, if you're a Dracula fan, or you're a fan of Mike Mignola, where you're just a fan of black and white art, this is the book to get. I love this book. It was one of my favorite things that I've received lately. Yeah, I've read this story I don't know how many times in the floppy form. I've seen the movie probably about 20 times. About 14 of those times were in theaters when I was out in San Diego when it first came out. I even got to see a sneak peek of the movie. The movie wasn't even finished, and I was walking around. Horton Plaza is a mall down in downtown San Diego. It's not there anymore. But you would walk around and you would have people come up to you and go, "Hey, you want to see a movie?" And like, "Oh, yeah, what movie?" It's like, "Oh, Dracula." I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'll go see that. That's great. I'll catch the movie." And then you show up along with a couple hundred people because the line was wrapped from the theater around to another upper level of the Horton Plaza for people to get in. And of course they could only allow so many people. So the earlier you got there, the better. And you got a chance to see the movie. And you got to see the movie. Some of the special effects weren't done. I don't think it had the music that was later on put into the movie. but it was just a really cool experience for being like such a horror nut and liking vampires and things like that. Plus I'm a huge one of my he's probably my favorite actor is Gary Oldman. Having him in the movie, you know, and so it was just great to see it early. And then, like I said, I probably seen it about 14 times in the theater. That's just how much I loved it. Well, anyways, I want to thank everybody. If anybody showed up, um, I don't think anyone did, but that's okay. You can always watch this when it's uploaded to YouTube, after the fact. I know there's a lot of people streaming, so it's always competition of, who's going to get views and who's not. And that's okay. But I hope you liked the video. Please check out the books. I definitely recommend, keep your eye open for Lone Star 3, which I think is the Mind of the Monster. It's going to be called. Um, Back Gary Shipman Volume 2, Titan. Like I said, it's in demand. You can get Titan 1. Titan 2 is an active campaign going on, but Titan 1 is in demand, so you can still get the book. Gary's a great writer, great artist. Definitely recommend it. Your boy Zach, Richard Meyer, he's doing Impossible Stars. He has Expendables Go to Hell, as well as Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar. I've backed all three. I don't know which one I'm looking forward to most. I might want to say Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar, because I'm a Aaron Alfici fan, and he's doing the artwork again for that book. So that's the one I'm probably looking out for. Also, I want to plug a friend of mine, Nasser Rabadi, who has returned to Comicsgate. I know I've talked to Nasser a few times. I've talked to him about, it's going to be a hard road coming back. There's a lot of people in CG who feel burned or hurt by the things that you've done in the past. But I'm hoping people still support him. I think he's a young man who has great potential when it comes to writing comic books as well as novels. So if you go to Amazon and do a search for Nasser Rabadi, he has a number of novels. Right now I'm on the third book of the Eternity trilogy called Locked Coffins. The first book was Eternity. The second book is Inner Demons. And like I said, the third book is called Locked Coffins. I've enjoyed all three books. So far, Inner Demons has been my favorite, but I wanted to give him a plug. Also, if you run across Nasser on Twitter, hit him up. He has copies of his books. I believe it's Starlight and then Trixie Kane, Vampire Hunter, something like that. Trixie Kane. Hit him up. He'll sell them to you via PayPal. I know he has another book coming. He's already planning a comic book. I believe it's going to launch sometime this month. Yeah. Learning to talk. You can tell this is live, right? He has a new book. I think it's called Asyl. It's with the trend. What happens if you're trying to escape Dracula in a mental institute? It's supposed to be German impressionist kind of style artwork, so it's supposed to be really trippy kind of backgrounds and stuff like that. He already has an artist working on it. The story's done. Like I said, I think he has plans to launch it in November. I will be definitely backing it. I think, like I said, Nasser is a young man that has a lot of potential as a writer. Also, what else is there? There's Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. Has reached $1.1 million, I believe. That's still active on Indiegogo. That's Ethan Van Sciver. There is Vestige by my boys Gat Hanzo and Doodlebags. This is volume 2 of the Vestige saga. I got Vestige 1. That was drawn by Donald DeLay. I loved it. I thought it was a great book, very creative. Volume 2 is out on Indiegogo funding, in demand. I think it's somewhere at around $45,000 or $46,000. This book should be six figures. So if I have any influence anywhere, if I can hypnotize you, go to Indiegogo and back Vestige 2. Shane Davis has Starlight Cats intergalactic cats fighting intergalactic rats. The artwork looks amazing. It's a project from Shane Davis and his wife Yanzi. Back that. There's Dan Frega Boom, who has Black Flag Pineapple Perception. That's in demand. I backed that book. I love Dan's stuff. I actually went back and got copies of the original Black Flag books back from like 94, 95. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that some of the pages was actually drawn by a good friend of mine, Drew Posada, who unfortunately passed away a number of years ago. Was a talented artist. So that was a really nice thing to see in the book. I got a bunch of books sitting here waiting for me to read. I got the complete run of Arcanum, which was Brandon Peterson. And then I got Out There, which was through the Cliffhanger imprint of Wildstorm, and that was Humberto Ramos. And to be honest, I didn't buy it for Humberto Ramos. I bought it because one of my favorite inkers did the whole series, which of 18 books, 18 issues, Sandra Hope. That's why I got it. So, and it's also the first published work, I think, in the United States, or maybe possibly just period, of Edgar Delgado, who's a phenomenal colorist, still colors today in the mainstream industry, does phenomenal work, love his stuff. So that's really great. Let me think if I can think of any more. Let me see if I can think of any more campaigns. Cash Grab closed, so I can't say Cash Grab. John, well, that might be closed too. Oh, wow. Graveyard Shift 3, Volume 3 by John Malin is out there, or it might be in demand. I don't think he went in demand. He actually might have closed the campaign. So, yeah, that won't work. You're not going to find that. So, definitely Gary Shipman. Support your boy Zach, Richard Meyer on Indiegogo. Mike Miller is going to be on Indiegogo. The Magnificent Seven. Like I said, if you don't want a political book, that's understandable, but you can get the first two volumes of Lone Star. My boy Nasser's coming out with Azel this November. I'm going to try to be one of the first backers on that. It sounds very interesting. Once again, vampires. I love horror, but I'm also interested in like the German impressionist aspect of the artwork. So I'm dying to see how that looks when he puts up the campaign page. So thank you everyone who will watch this when it's uploaded onto YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you like the content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep reading comics. Take care.